So I'm Allison Costelow, and I am a seniors real estate specialist here in Benicia, California. And what does that mean to be a seniors real estate specialist? I am primarily helping people downsize into either senior living facilities, into smaller homes, maybe a condo or townhome where there's less maintenance, or in with family. I can help anybody and everybody, but this is kind of my passion and my niche. And I love educating. So every month I've been doing a seminar. I've been doing it on the last Wednesday of the month, around 6 p.m. I'm currently doing them online here, and I'm recording them. And then I put them on my YouTube channel when we're done. So you can always go back and refer to different topics. And then I'm hoping at the start of 2026 to start doing them live and in person at Northgate Church up on the hill. So more to come on that. But yes, so I help people downsize. I've got lots and lots and lots of resources for seniors. I have great referral partners where I can refer you out to wonderful people if you need legal assistance and with wills and trusts, if you need a move manager, if you need an estate sale, if you need a junk hauler, everything you can think of. I have a whole team of people that I work with very closely that I know, like, and trust and have vetted to be great with helping my senior clientele. So that's a little bit about me and who I am. And today, I really want to go over identifying risk factors, share safety solutions, and boost your overall confidence in home security. So when we're looking to move, we're not only looking when I'm working with a senior, somebody, things are starting to change in our bodies. And so when we're looking at our next place, we have safety in mind. Number one, when we're looking at homes and what we're going to need. And even if we're moving in with family, what is the house going to need to adapt to this new change? So let's dig right in. Why is safety important? Falls are the number one cause of senior injuries, and most are very preventable. Small upgrades like grab bars and better lighting can make a huge impact. A safe home means more independence and peace of mind. This day and age, I've definitely noticed a lot of people choose to age in place as long as they possibly can. So we just want to make sure that they do it safely, comfortably, and being prepared and proactive at some of these safety measures instead of reactive and waiting for something to happen to decide, oh, maybe I need to put some of these things in place. So that's something that I always try to get people to look at through the lens of being proactive and prepared, even if we don't need it right now. There's some very small things that we can do so that when the time comes, it's there for you and mitigates any kind of injury that could come from a fall. Safety benefits everyone, seniors and their loved ones. So the importance of emergency preparedness as we get older and our bodies start to have slower reaction times, and our needs are a little bit more when we have lots of medications and things that we need to bring with us. It's always good to have a plan in place where these things are, have them quick and easy to get a hold of, and go over that plan every so often with whoever's in the house or your emergency contact. So over 50% of seniors face challenges during crisis. So let's be prepared. And I want to give you some identifying common risks. So things to look out for. We're going to really look into fall hazards, fire risks, and poor lighting. The poor lighting is going to cause a lot of problems in, falling, not seeing things, tripping, excuse me, things that can be taken care of ahead of time. We definitely want to check rugs. Do we need the rug? Is it helpful or is it more harmful? And different things that we can do to make rugs more safe. Was looking at stairs and exits for safety, spotting dangers, is the first step to prevention. So again, when I'm walking into a home where I know one of our loved ones is going to be, having that eye of looking for these particular things first and foremost. All right, some of the meat and potatoes for tonight. Practical safety solutions. So I've kind of broken this down by the different rooms in the house. So bathrooms. Bathrooms I put first and foremost because that is where 80% of the falls take place. As we get older, our bathrooms are tiled most of the time and with water that does not mix, and people slip and fall. So obviously inside of the tubs, we want to have non-slip mats, or have the bottom of the tub have a coating on it that is non-slip, so that it's kind of that almost, sandpapery feeling where people are going to not slip and fall. Grab bars. So grab bars in the shower and next to the toilet. Grab bars now, they have some that you do not have to have any tools to put in. They are suctioned and they can hold up to almost 300 pounds. So they are very sturdy, and I would say that would be like the easiest install that you could make ahead of time to be proactive in the case of a fall. Having a grab bar in the shower, having a grab bar by the toilet, those are quick and easy things that you don't need to drill into the wall to do. They have really great ones that just suction cup right on, very sturdy. Looking at the handled shower heads so that you can move them around, and if you need to get like a shower chair and then have the wands, the handles that come down so that it's easier to manipulate when you're taking a shower. Lighting, we can do plug-in night lights or the motion sensors. And I have seen a lot of the bathrooms have the motion sensor strip lighting under cabinetry. So it kind of lights up underneath the cabinet, but it's lighting up the floor. So when you're walking in, right away, the floor is being lit up in the evening. And that is a huge help. Those are super cheap, really easy to install Amazon items. The kitchen. So this was something that just came up in one of my classes that I was like, oh, perfect thing to add today is we were talking about induction stovetops, cooking with induction. So when I'm talking about safety, when you go to turn on your stove and maybe your hearing isn't as good as it used to be, and you're not quite paying attention to what you're doing, and you've turned the handle and now gas is pouring out and you don't really smell it, you can't hear it clicking. Those can be dangerous situations. Leaving a flame burning and walking away, very dangerous situation. Taking the food off the stove and then walking away with it on, forgetting that it's on. With an induction cooktop, you don't have the gas coming out, and most of them have automatic shutoffs, and it's not heating up the room either. So when you're cooking with gas, the whole kitchen can get really hot. And with the induction cooktop, everything stays cool. Even most of them, you can put stuff down around the top that you're not cooking on with the pans. And so it's very safe. You're not going to get, it's much harder to get burned on an induction cooktop than it is with gas. So I definitely wanted to put that in there tonight. And even if you just wanted to try one out, there are a lot of local programs that you can actually borrow one. You can go into, I have some resources I can send out if you're interested, where they will rent one out to you. So you can give it a try and see if it works for you and you like it, and then decide to purchase one yourself. And then in the kitchen as well, putting on some cut-resistant gloves or finger protectors. So when we're cutting and stuff, as we get older, we're definitely bleeding easier, and we want to mitigate all of that. So just anything we can do to, again, to be proactive and have close by. Floors. We talked about rugs, so you can tape them or you can get grippers for them. But I would really, at the point where mobility is starting to get maybe a little bit more not as easy, I would discourage rugs unless it's a mat in the bathroom or at the kitchen sink where things can get very slippery. With rugs, you can easily get, they can pull up, and then the biggest reasons for trips and falls. You definitely want to have something that's low pile carpet instead of those, thick throw rugs. For furniture, they have edge bumpers for sharp edges on tables, so we're not knocking into them, and an armrest on all the chairs so that it's comfortable and easy to sit. One thing that might be on the next slide, but I just want to mention here too, in the bedroom, they have mats too that are censored. So when you are getting out of bed, you would stand on the mat, and if you are on the mat for too long, it will start to beep. So somebody else in the house will know that you are getting up. And if getting out of bed, you happen to fall, you would be on the mat and the mat would continuously beep. So those censored mats are also great. You can use them on the floor where you're at most of the time, either by the bed or if there's a particular chair or area that you spend most of the day in. Those are great ideas. So when we talk about building a emergency kit, some of the things we want to think about is at least having a 7-day supply, of food and water, and also a 7-day supply of medication if we can, and have it labeled in a Ziploc bag or, in one of your pouches that have the day labels, and then also in a Ziploc bag that has the instructions and all of the medication names and everything. So if somebody needs to help you, they know what they're giving you, they know what it is, and they have the instructions all right there in the bag with the medicine already divvied out into one of the containers. So that's a really great organized way to make sure that you're just grabbing and going, you have everything you need. Of course, flashlights and batteries, first aid kits, and we want to make sure that we have a medical contact list and any allergies all ready to go in the bag. So we talked about having your medications listed out. You also want to have your medical contact sheet and your allergies. If you can have a backup pair of glasses, hearing aids, any kind of mobility aids, anything that you can have that's a backup that you can have in that same spot with your ready to go bag, really makes things a lot easier when you're trying to move quickly to get out and evacuate somewhere. So this is some technology for security that I came up with. So we all have these Alexa and Google devices in our homes, so we can, and they are great for reminders, medication reminders, anything you might need. We can set reminders on them and they will go off for us throughout the day. Ring doorbells and video security. So this is really big because with our aging population as we get older, people will target. They will target older residents for scams and try to scam you out of money. They'll say they're there to power wash the driveway. And they're like, oh yeah, I could use a good power wash on the driveway. And then they take your money and they leave and they never did the job. Different things like that. So elderly can be a huge target for scams. So ring doorbells are fantastic. You can see who's there. If you don't know them, don't answer the door. And if you have loved ones at home, you can share those, videos with people so that they can check in and see what's going on. Somebody's at the door, hey mom, don't answer that. We don't know those people, and check it in. So those are, I think, really great for us to have for helping with, a lot of the scams that are out there. And then I put down, here's the fall detection mats. And these two brands here are the top rated brands that I was reading about. So for the smart fall detection mats, those are really great. Like I said, by the bedside or wherever you like to kind of sit throughout the day, having them there. As ability starts to deteriorate and we are prone to falling, this will really help our loved ones know if we have fallen. And then, they have the medical devices that go either around your neck. They have a button that you can push for help, or they have ones that you can put in your pocket, attached to your, belt, this one, medical page. So different items that will alert medical staff that there's an issue and you're not scrambling to try to find a phone or contact somebody, especially if you've fallen. These devices, again, being proactive and just having them set up, know how to use them. So one day you're just deciding, man, I'm not feeling really good today. Maybe I'm going to grab that thing and put it in my pocket. Could really be a proactive approach and saving you when something does happen. So I wouldn't think of any of this stuff as something, to be waiting until, I have my first fall or something happens to mom and okay, we're going to start putting this stuff in place. These are a lot of simple things that we could do ahead of time to be ahead of the game and keep our loved ones safe, keep ourselves safe. And like I said, some of them you just grab off Amazon, like those grab bars, the suction cups. It takes 2 seconds to install, super easy, and can be a huge lifesaver. And then, so we really want to make sure that our design of our home is designed with accessibility in mind, an accessible space. So some things I put down here are clear of clutter. We don't want to have stuff all over the floor so that you're tripping on it. We want to make sure we have very clear paths to the bathroom, to the kitchen, to the bedroom, and arranging furniture for easy movement. And when I say easy movement, I mean kind of more straight walk-through paths, not so that you're have stuff right in the way where you have to make sharp turns to get anywhere. Easy movement so that you can guide yourself around it. And then clear 32-inch wide walkways is what is recommended. And then use leveler style handles. So I put a picture here so you can see what I'm talking about. The straight handles that are much easier to pull down than the knob style that you have to turn. Because as we start changing, our bodies start changing, these handle styles are going to be much easier for mobility in our hands than the knob styles. So, and then a floor level lighting in the hallways. So I talked about like in the bathroom, you can do the motion strip sensor, and in the hallways too, just throw a couple of those plug-in nightlight ones and it's perfect. It's just, again, one of those super cheap, easy, plug it in, and it's inexpensive, and it's a very proactive way so that when it's dark, you're not tripping over anything and not falling. So I put a bonus tip here is to design a seated rest area spot in every room. So in the kitchen or dining room, if you have a spot where you're going to be, sitting or standing cooking, like that's your designated spot. Where can you put things like if you're in the kitchen and that's where, you're doing your cooking, making sure you have your cut resistant gloves or finger protectors like out and right there. And if you have a spot in the living room, maybe you have a cane to help you get up, like right there by the chair. Maybe you don't need it all the time, but just to help get up, or, looking at where are you at in the house most of the day. These are my main areas, and how can I design those spaces to just move easier and have less strain. And so those are some things that we want to think about as we go through the home. And then here, creating an emergency plan. So these are some things that we want to think about. Pick a contact person for out of area emergency contact. So somebody who's not here that you would be traveling to, or that you can talk to, that isn't going through the same event that you are going through right now. Somebody out of the area that is going to be your point of contact if you were to evacuate. Having a map with evacuation routes so that you have safe spots, and include pets and caregivers in this as well. How are you going to get the pet out of the house and where do you need to go? Here's an example of an exit route out of Benicia if you're here. And these things you can get on county websites as well, as far as like evacuation out of the city. But just having a meeting spot outside of the home too. For me, I am a wife and a mother of 2 little girls. And my girls are 3 years old and 5 years old, and they already know if something were to happen at the house and there was a fire or we needed to evacuate the house, the safe spot is the mailbox bank across the street and, down a few homes. And they know that's our safety spot. If we need to evacuate the house, it's the mailbox bank. So where is your safety spot when something happens at the house and you need to evacuate? Um, Thinking that through and making sure the people in the home know, and any loved ones that you think are going to be rushing over to check on you, that they all know this as well and that you guys are talking about this. Um, Use a safety soundtrack with smart speakers for reminders. So again, this is kind of like one of those Google or Alexa devices that can set reminders for different things throughout the day if you need medication reminders, and things of that nature. So spotting the danger zones in the home. We've talked about carpeted carpets, rugs, carpeted stairs, making sure that they're tight and secure. Replace with non-slip tread if you can. Um, Handrails, add easy grip rails on both sides so that way you have something to grab a hold of. Small rugs by the stairs, remove or use non-slip backing or tape them down. Again, really think about if they're absolutely necessary, because it's much easier just to get rid of them than try to tape them down or use those non-slick things. They're not 100%. Loose rugs, tape, use grippers. Sharp table edges, you can get those little plastic bumpers, so they're not leaving huge spots on your legs when if you bump into them. Or cutting, because we know that when get cut, probably bleeding a lot easier and more. Low lighting, replace with brighter or motion sensor bulbs, are super helpful in areas that maybe you're not in often. You can use the motion sensors, are great. And like I said, those low level lighting in the bathroom and things like that. So you can kind of have a combination of some of the different lighting options. And then simple steps for a safer home. So this is what I will be giving out to you guys. This is my Senior Proof Your Home, a complete safety blueprint. Again, I've broken it down kind of by room in the house. So I'm not going to go through all of that again, but you'll be getting that for your follow-up. And everything that we kind of talked about, the non-slip mats, the grab bars, improve lighting, wear supportive shoes, declutter the hallways, keep essentials within reach. That's, those main spots of the house that you're at most of the day, your main areas. What do you need right there? What are you going to have to get up to go get that you can make sure you have close by? Maybe a little basket of something. Um, Exercise for balance and strength regularly. Exercise doesn't have to be much. It can be moving around using your chair and stretching. Honestly, you could YouTube great exercise and strength, exercise for balance and strength videos on YouTube, and that are made for sitting in a chair, and just do those once a day. Super easy things. Using a cane or a walker if needed. And then getting regular vision and hearing checks. So I hope that this was helpful. Maybe you learned something new. If you have questions, I'm here for you. I would love to answer any questions you might have. If you guys have anything you want to talk about more, I would be happy to do that as well. So with that, I will open it up for any questions. And here is my contact information if you need to get a hold of me for a later date. And my next upcoming seminar is going to be having the hard conversations between adult children and aging parents. Again, kind of preparedness in another way. And I will have some checklists as well. And I will also have a guest speaker next month. She is a professional mediator specifically for this space. So again, I have lots of resources, and I don't have to be the expert in everything, but I definitely have the experts for, areas that I know my clients are going to need. So with that, I thank you for coming, and please, I'll stick on for a little bit longer. If you have any questions, I'm here for you. Any remedies for that? Sliding doors. It's a good one. For sliding doors that are hard to open, I would have maybe a handyman or contractor look at it to see if they could loosen anything, or adjust anything so that when it opens a little bit more with ease. That would be more of like a handyman or like an adjustment probably to the door would be the cheapest besides replacing the door. But I would say even if it's a smaller handle that's hard to grab as well, you could get a foam pad around the handle so that the handle is bigger and easier to grab to pull. Could help if it's a mobility issue with the hand having a good grip to be able to pull. So maybe widening the handle as well could help. Thank you, Sue, for that question. I appreciate it. MedPage, do you need a subscription? Um, most of them you do. Most of them you do need subscriptions, yes, because it is a medical alert that is going out. There are some brands that don't. So let me, if you want to type because I can only see that you're on your phone. If you have an email address, let me get you the information on that, and I would love to send it over. If you want to type your email into the chat, you can do private, so it's just to me, or you can text me or call me. And I'm happy to get you more information on those as well. I'm pretty proud of myself. I stuck to the 30 minutes tonight. I talk fast because I'm trying to get all the information in that I can, and I also want to be super respectful of your time. Well, thank you guys, and I hope you have a wonderful night. I look forward to the opportunity of getting to talk with you more, learn more about you, and help you in any way you possibly need. Again, my name is Allison Costelow, and I am your Seniors Real Estate Specialist here in Benicia, California.